Hey there, friends. Welcome back to our channel. All you MOBA game enthusiasts must have heard the big news Honor of Kings has officially launched in Turkey, the CIS, and the MENA regions just a couple of days ago. If you haven't had the chance to download it yet, you're seriously missing out on this globally trending sensation. In today's video, we're diving into the world of this fresh and exhilarating game, spotlighting its main characters so you can jump right in and get in on the action with Honor of Kings. As many of you might know, a typical MOBA game features 6 hero categories, which include assassins, tanks, mages, marksmen, supports, and fighters. And yep, Honor of Kings comes packed with an awe-inspiring roster of super powerful characters, each with their own pros and cons, making them truly unique on the battlefield. Plus, different types of heroes fit into different team compositions, and putting them in the right spot can seriously crank up your team's combat power. Let's get ready to explore these heroes and start building your winning team. Introduction to Tank Heroes. Tank heroes are the juggernauts of the battlefield, boasting high health and defense. They're your go-to picks for survivability and can dish out moderate damage. During team fights, tanks take the front line, soaking up the enemy's blows, though tactics may vary based on their abilities. Some of the formidable tank heroes include Arthur, Agudo, Dharma, Kaizer, Lubu, Sunsi, Wuyan, and Lianpo. For newcomers, Lubu is a solid choice. Lubu wields impressive damage and resistance to suppression. His devastating true damage and crowd control skills allow him to exert significant pressure on both front and backline enemies. For beginners, he's quite accessible. Lubu's skill 3 is incredibly useful whether you're in a team fight, chasing down an opponent, or setting an ambush. In team confrontations, it's best to leverage his skill 3 for initial control and damage, quickly followed by his first to slow enemies and amplify damage. Then, unleash his skill 2 in crowded areas to simultaneously heal yourself while hitting the foes. It looks good, right? Lianpo is another easy-to-handle tank hero, whose superior crowd control and unique passive effects make him a significant threat to enemy backliners. In team battles, Lianpo can close in on the enemy from the sides using his skill 3, then quickly use his ultimate to control the adversaries and follow up with his skill 1 to either chase or retreat, depending on the situation. So, in a nutshell, these two heroes are newbie favorites. Introduction to Fighter Heroes. Fighters are the balanced force in combat, excelling in offense and defense, and adept at close-range confrontations. They typically stand behind tank heroes in team fights, sustaining minimal damage and engaging fiercely with enemy lines. Sometimes, in the absence of a tank, they lead the charge and endure the brunt of the assault. Fighters' heroes include names like Arthur, Kaizer, Elaine, Byron, Dakiao, Lixin, and others. And yes, you might wonder, aren't Arthur and Kaizer tanks? Indeed, they are, but they are also formidable fighters. In Honor of Kings, several heroes straddle 2 roles, allowing for flexible use based on your team's needs. Arthur is a fighter who balances attack and defense, but relies on skill-based damage. His high survivability coupled with skill 1 ensures resilience, even without boosting defense. For rookies, in team skirmishes, Arthur's skill 1 can silence key enemies, preventing them from using their abilities. His skill 2 dishes out continuous damage to enemies within range, and skill 3 delivers a decisive blow at the right moment. Kaizer is another fighter with both offensive and defensive capabilities. His ultimate blocking mechanism significantly boosts his staying power, and with added damage against single targets, he poses a real threat to enemy backlines. In team fights, employ his skill 3 to enhance your own attack, movement, and damage block, which inflicts magical damage to surrounding enemies over time. Follow up with his skill 2 for a finishing blow, and when enemies attempt to flee, his skill 3 allows for rapid blade throws to swiftly eliminate squishy adversaries, like marksmen. Introduction to Assassin Heroes. Assassin heroes are characterized by their fragile survivability and potent burst damage capacities. In team battles, they excel at stealthily maneuvering behind enemy lines, seizing the opportunity to swiftly eliminate the adversary's vulnerable backline damage dealers with a combo of abilities. Honor of Kings' assassin characters include, but are not limited to, Mai Shiranui, Hanshin, Mulan, Nakoruru, Cirrus, and Li Bai. For MOBA game novices, it is generally not recommended to start off with assassin heroes, as mastering these characters demands refined control and technical prowess from the player. Take Hanshin as an example. He is a highly mobile assassin, adept at ambushing enemy backliners and engaging in duels. His diverse set of skills includes, but is not limited to, mobility and control abilities, which grant him exceptional burst and survivability in team fights. His skill 1 allows him to charge at the enemy and launch them airborne, inflicting physical damage. His skill 2 enables him to leap in the opposite direction, turning his next attack within 3 seconds into a sweeping blow that deals significant physical damage. Hansen's ultimate delivers multiple hits of physical damage to enemies within a certain area, concluding with a knock-up effect and making him uninterruptible during the skill's duration. Therefore, when controlling Hanshin, careful attention to direction is paramount to avoid plunging into the enemy group inadvertently. In team battles, Hanshin should lie in wait, assaulting quickly after both sides have weakened and control skills have been spent, utilizing his abilities to control and damage enemies repetitively, then unleashing his ultimate to sweep and finally backstep to exit the fray. This tactic can decimate several enemy champions in one fell swoop. Nakoruru is a highly effective dive assassin, thanks to her skills that allow for short-distance blink through obstacles, especially notable in her ultimate ability, which surpasses the mobility of most assassin heroes. Nakoruru's combo can deal tremendous damage, and her ultimate is well suited for chasing down targets. During team engagements, she can utilize her skill 2 and skill 3 to surge into the enemy backline and swiftly assassinate mages and marksmen. Even if the assassination attempt falls short, she can quickly extricate herself from danger. However, she also has prominent drawbacks. As an assassin, Nakoruru's HP is relatively small, and if caught by control abilities, she can be easily eliminated by the enemy forces. Introduction to Mage Heroes. Mage-type heroes are characterized by their relatively weak survivability, but they possess powerful damage output and control abilities. Occupying the rear position during team fights, they focus on controlling and dealing damage to enemy heroes. In the Game of Honor of Kings, notable mage heroes include Angela, Darji, Luna, Milady, Joyu, and others. Mage heroes are highly recommended for beginners, with Angela and Darji being the top choices to try out. Darji is a commonly seen mage hero on the battlefield. Typically, she initiates with her skill 2 to stun the enemy, followed by her skill 1 and skill 3, both of which are powerful damage-dealing skills that can inflict significant harm on the target. However, unless Darji is extremely well developed, she relies on tank heroes to withstand damage at the front, while she takes advantage of her long-range damage potential to unleash devastating attacks from afar. Hence, during team fights, Darji players should refrain from rushing to the front. Another popular mage hero is Angela, a burst damage mage who plays a crucial role in team confrontations. Her high damage output is complemented by her skill 3, which provides a shield and control immunity, enhancing her survivability. In team fights, Angela typically starts with her skill 2 to slow down opponents, then uses her skill 1 for inflicting damage, followed by her skill 3 to target enemies from a distance, drastically reducing their health. The shield that comes with this ability protects Angela from being controlled, thus improving her chance of survival on the battlefield. It wouldn't be an exaggeration to claim that Angela is one of the hot picks among mage-type heroes. Introduction to Marksman Heroes. Marksman-type heroes are characterized by their exceptional long-range damage and control skills. They utilize their extensive firing range to dominate the backline in team skirmishes. Among the Hawk Archers are Alessio, Arlie, Hui, Luba No. 7, Marco Polo, and more. For novices, Hui and Luba No. 7 are the go-to marksman heroes. As a ranged poke-type marksman, Hui not only brings high burst damage but also has the capacity to initiate crowd control, often turning the tide in team fights. Acting as a carry attack damage, CAD, he should focus on farming minions early to boost his attack prowess. In team battles, his strategy is to initiate with his ultimate to disrupt the enemies, then slow them with his skill 2, and finally, continue to barrage them with his skill 1 for sustained damage. Due to his lower health pool, Hui should ideally coordinate with support heroes to evade being an easy mark for enemy assassins. Luba No. 7, also a poke-type marksman, is skilled at whittling down enemies' health with his abilities from a distance. If enemies are sufficiently weakened, he can execute them with his ultimate. Although powerful in combat, his vulnerability requires players to be strategic with their positions. Newcomers must engage from the furthest distance to deal damage safely, preventing sudden enemy assaults. In mass battles, Lubin number 7 should cast his skill 3 from a safe distance to prevent enemies from approaching recklessly and selectively use his skill 1 to slow opponents, enhancing damage output through his passive. Depending on the circumstances, he may either retreat or chase down foes. With enemies at reduced health, he can deal distance damage with basic attacks, activating his passive, and possibly finish them with his third ability. Introduction to Support Heroes. Support heroes in Honor of Kings are considered to have moderate survivability and damage output. They mainly rely on their powerful skill effects to enhance ally statuses and control enemy heroes. Notable support heroes in Honor of Kings include Kaiyan, Da Qiao, Dolia, Sunbin, Zhuangzi, and more. Beginners might find Kaiyan an accessible choice. This support hero excels in control and healing. Equipped with various skills for crowd control and healing, she is straightforward to play, effectively protecting allies, restoring their health, and assisting the team towards victory. Kaiyan's skill 1 can continuously heal allies within its range and increase their movement and attack speed. Her skill 2 can control enemies for a certain duration, and her skill 3 provides sustained healing to teammates. In team fights, it's advisable to first control the enemy with skill 2 and then use skill 3 to reduce damage received by allies and deplete enemies' armor. Support heroes should ideally move with their teammates, particularly when casting their ultimate, ensuring they are not easily interrupted. Another great support choice is Sunbin. You can significantly enhance your team's mobility. His AoE silence and healing abilities provide a substantial margin for improvement for the whole team. Sunbin's skill 1 throws a bomb that sticks to enemies upon hitting, inflicting magical damage and a slowing effect. His skill 2 boosts allied movement speed. Skill 3 damages enemies over a wide area. During team battles, he can position himself in the middle of his team, using his skill 2 to replenish shields and increase movement speed for nearby allies. Sunbin uses his skill 1 for crowd control against key enemy heroes, while his skill 3 reduces the movement speed of enemies within the area and deals magical damage, making it very practical for assisting teammates in both chasing and escaping. Each hero in Honor of Kings comes with its share of distinctive. Familiarity with their traits and capabilities can greatly aid in devising synergistic team compositions for more robust combat prowess in confrontations. So go ahead, download the game to dive in. And don't miss a beat. Like and subscribe to our channel for all things Honor of Kings, from the latest updates to game strategies and pro tips. Share with us your hero of choice in the comments, and let's meet on the next video.